Here we have the daily price chart for Meta Platforms Incorporated, stock ticker META. Here we can see that the stock had a very strong close to the prior trading week. We actually managed to break through some very significant resistance zones in the process. In particular, the price resistance zone that I was looking at previously came in at the April 8 highs, which posted at 531.49. As we can see here, the closing period closed the week at 539.91. So this was a very decisive move here. And then, not only that, not only did we break this prior resistance level, this prior all-time high, we managed to close above that level on a daily basis and on a weekly basis. So these are all very significant developments here. And there's a lot in this chart which shows that ultimate trend activity is very healthy at the moment. There are some potential warning signals that we do need to point out here. One would be the fact that share prices have officially moved into overbought territory. It's really not surprising given a move like this, given that we're seeing a move like this. As you can see here, this green price candle, is really much larger than what you typically see on this chart. There really aren't many decisive price movements that are so strong. And what's important to note here is the fact that this came in the face of very strong resistance levels. More than likely, there would have been people that would be trying to take profits in prior long positions at this point. And that works against a stock because, when you see something like that, closing a long position effectively becomes a sell order. I mean, it's really the same thing as establishing a short position, at least in terms of the influence that it has in short-term price action. So it is a negative effect, and you would expect to see some people closing their trades, on an approach of this level. It's the highest the stock has ever traded. Last time we were trading at this level, we did see some fairly significant declines. We did see a decline from, let's get some exact numbers here. So from 531.49, we managed to fall all the way to 414.50. This was a post earnings price gap lower. As you can see, prices actually gapped lower here. So this was a very significant price move to the downside last time we saw these levels. So, for the most part, that would be expected to scare off some people with long positions. If you're currently holding a long position, you don't want to lose the current gains that you have. Many people are going to be taking profits in this region. But as we can see here, this was not enough to stop share prices from overcoming this resistance level and breaking to new all-time highs, closing there on a daily basis and closing there on a weekly basis. So overall, this is a very strong price move. And as we can see here, support levels have moved up. And we're really finding support also at the 20-day exponential moving average. This is very significant because the moving average cluster is still rising at this point, and this does suggest that the stock will continue to find support at higher and higher levels. So currently, the level that I would be watching to the downside, in the event that we do start to break lower, and people are maybe looking for opportunities to buy at a discount, the first level that I would be watching comes in at 492.75, roughly, just below 493. This is a prior historical support zone. And we also see that there is a rising exponential moving average that's currently coming into contact with this zone. This is the orange line here. So that would be the 50-day exponential moving average. If we do manage to see a break below this 20-day exponential moving average, it wouldn't be surprising to then see the market start to target this 50-period EMA. Overall, this does look a bit likely or a bit probable due to the fact that we are now trading in overbought territory for the stock. The overall trend here in trend momentum is still positive. So that does mean that we can continue to move higher, even though we are currently in overbought territory. But this does signal a bit of caution here. And it does suggest that, further upside could be a bit limited, going forward. We would really need to see a break of this downtrend, this uptrend in share price momentum in order to really change that view and to start maybe targeting prices more to the downside. But always, we do need to have a game plan in the event that we are wrong about this outlook. And below this 492 level, I would begin to target prices that are quite a bit lower, actually, roughly 455. Because at that point we would probably start to lose support that's found in the moving average cluster. We would be caught inside of the moving average cluster. So this tends to bring share prices back toward the midpoint of that moving average cluster if that were to occur. So I do think that if we see a break back below the $500 mark, and then through this 492 level, I do think that we would be in store for a bit of a retracement lower. If all of that were to occur, that's not the current outlook. The current outlook remains positive, and we do need to start looking for some potential upside targets here. Now that share prices are trading at record levels. So now that we are trading at record levels, it becomes much more difficult to find upside targets because there are no resistance levels going forward at all-time highs. You don't have any resistance levels to the top side. So here, if we pull out to the monthly chart, we can look at these standard deviation channels and get a better sense of what the broader picture actually looks like here. So this is a monthly chart, and each one of these candles represents a 1 month trading period. So as you can see here, you can probably start to see why I'm a bit more cautious about buying into this current rally. It is a very strong rally, and it is still supported on the short-term time frames as far as momentum trajectory is concerned. But as you can see here, we are outside all of the major standard deviation channels on the monthly time frame. This is essentially the longest time frame that we have for this stock because Facebook Meta's price history is not as long as some other stocks. As we can see here, we're really at the end of the line as far as the price history is concerned. And this price move to the top side has been absolutely, massive. It's, we've got a huge amount of upside here. We're trading essentially, we've closed outside of the monthly Bollinger Band in some cases here. And we are now closing, these periods currently outside of all of the major standard deviation channels. So, this should probably show why I'm a bit cautious here, even though the underlying trend momentum is quite positive. So overall, I really wouldn't recommend taking long positions here. I think you do need to see a bit of a retracement here because there's just too much downside risk in the event that maybe the broader market does start to sell off, and then maybe tech stocks in general start to see more selling pressure. I wouldn't directly target Meta as a potential target for downside selling, but this is a stock that could fall victim if we start to see broader declines in the Nasdaq and in the S&P 500, just given the fact that we're currently trading at such extended levels here, and this is on the longer term time frames. So these are all factors that have to be considered going forward for anybody that's looking to trade Meta Platforms Incorporated, stock ticker META.